Fan Zhao looked down at the splint on his arm and frowned. "How did you find out?" he asked, glancing sideways at You Shulang. "Oh, when I opened the door to grab the bathrobe just now, I used my right hand." He groaned softly at himself. He had been careless, letting his movements reveal more than he wanted. You Shulang raised an eyebrow and said nothing at first, but the intensity in his gaze made Fan Zhao shift slightly, uncomfortable under the silent scrutiny. "It hasn't been long," You Shulang said quietly, finally breaking the silence. "Just 2 or 3 days." His tone was calm, almost casual, yet it carried weight. Every word seemed carefully measured, and Fan Zhao felt a twinge of nervousness. The quiet in the room stretched for a moment, leaving only the faint hum of the air conditioner and the occasional distant sound from the city below. Fan Zhao tried to focus on something else, anything else. But the way You Shulang watched him made even the simplest action feel significant. "You playing me for entertainment?" You Shulang asked, a slight edge creeping into his voice. He had pushed aside any earlier distractions and now seemed entirely focused on Fan Zhao. "Or did my careful attention satisfy you, President Fan?" The words were neutral enough, but the way he looked at Fan Zhao made it feel like a challenge. Fan Zhao let out a soft laugh, a mixture of nervousness and amusement. "Satisfied, of course I was satisfied," he said, lowering his gaze. A small sigh followed, and a faint melancholy touched his expression. "I did lie to you a little. No one has ever taken such good care of me since I was 7. Maybe I was just being too greedy." You Shulang's eyes softened for a fraction of a second. He stepped closer, silently observing as Fan Zhao began to remove the splint from his injured arm. The left hand still felt awkward, weak, and clumsy, and Fan Zhao fumbled slightly. You Shulang held out his hand and gently brushed the left one aside. "Do you want me to help?" he asked softly, his tone calm but firm. Fan Zhao hesitated, unsure how to respond. He had grown used to doing things on his own, but his arm was still recovering, and the clumsiness of his hand made simple movements frustrating. With careful precision, You Shulang guided Fan Zhao's arm, removing the splint with steady hands. The plastic board fell to the floor with a soft clatter, and the sound echoed slightly. In the quiet room, Fan Zhao breathed a small sigh of relief, flexing his fingers experimentally. "Thanks," he said quietly, a touch of embarrassment in his tone. He had always been independent, and needing help even for something small made him feel a little exposed. You Shulang tilted his head slightly and lowered his voice, careful not to raise it, but ensuring Fan Zhao could hear every word. "Shilehua tried calling you just now but couldn't reach you, so he called me instead. Guess what he told me? When you were 16, you competed in a left-handed esports tournament and won first place." Fan Zhao froze, blinking in surprise. He had almost forgotten that moment from years ago, a moment of unexpected pride in a time when he felt small in the world. "You remembered that?" he said, a small smile tugging at his lips. There was warmth in the memory, and for a brief moment, the tension in the room seemed to lift. You Shulang nodded, his expression calm but serious. "Of course I remembered," he said simply. "You don't forget things like that easily." You were focused, precise, and determined. It was impressive. Fan Zhao let out a soft laugh, shaking his head in disbelief. "I was just a kid back then. I didn't think it was that big of a deal." The honesty in his voice made the room feel lighter, and the quiet acknowledgement of his past achievements brought a new layer of respect to their interaction. For a moment, neither spoke. Fan Zhao flexed his fingers again, testing the strength in his recovered arm. He realized how much effort it had taken to get to this point and how patient You Shulang had been throughout the process. "You always notice everything, don't you?" he asked, half in admiration, half in mild exasperation. You Shulang's gaze didn't waver. "It's my job to notice," he said quietly. "And it's also my job to make sure you don't get hurt again." Fan Zhao's lips curved into a small smile. There was no sarcasm, no tension, just simple recognition of care and responsibility. The evening continued quietly. the two men navigating a delicate balance between familiarity and caution. Fan Zhao moved around the room, still careful with his injured arm, while You Shulang watched, occasionally offering subtle guidance. Every glance carried meaning. Every small action reflected unspoken understanding. They didn't need to speak much. The quiet companionship itself was comforting, even in its intensity. It was not about power or dominance, but about patience, attention, and shared experience. At one point, Fan Jiao paused near the window, looking out at the city lights below. "It's strange," he said softly, almost to himself, "how small moments like this feel so important."
Just removing a splint, talking about old tournaments.
It's silly, but it matters. You. Shulang leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching him with an unreadable expression. "It matters because you are important," he said quietly.
The words weren't dramatic or loud, but they carried weight.
Fan Jiao turned slightly, meeting his gaze, and felt a small, unexpected warmth. The conversation shifted to lighter topics. They spoke about the filming schedule, the minor frustrations of working long hours, and small anecdotes from past events. Laughter surfaced occasionally, soft and unforced, breaking the earlier tension. Fan Zhao noticed how much You Shulang paid attention to details, how he remembered even minor achievements, how he noticed subtle hesitations, and how he responded with quiet precision.
It was a reminder that patience and observation could sometimes communicate more than words ever could.
Time passed quickly. Fan Zhao felt more at ease, testing his arm movements and stretching his fingers. You Shulang remained nearby, not hovering, but present in a calm and steady way.
The simple act of care removing the splint, observing recovery, and remembering past victories had created a quiet bond.
It wasn't flashy or dramatic, but it was meaningful. Fan Jiao realized that the trust between them had grown without any grand gestures, without any forced conversations, simply through shared moments and small acts of consideration. By the time the night settled fully, both men had adjusted to the calm rhythm of the room. The splint was gone. The minor tension had eased, and the soft hum of the city below filled the quiet spaces between their conversation. Fan Zhao flexed his fingers one last time, smiling lightly. "Thanks for noticing everything," he said softly, his voice carrying a hint of gratitude. You Shulang nodded, his face calm, as though the exchange had been expected all along. It was an ordinary moment, yet somehow extraordinary in the way it highlighted trust, attention, and shared understanding.